What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about what Norwegians really think about Americans right now. So, today, I want to take a look at this Reddit discussion where somebody asked, given the issue with Greenland and Donald Trump and, all the crazy things that are going on right now, how do most Norwegians view American visitors right now? So, as an American myself, I understand that, a lot of people around the world are not happy with us right now. Especially since, if you think about it, it was the majority of Americans who actually elected Donald Trump as our president for the second time, kind of knowing exactly what we would get. And, as a result of that, we have all this madness going on right now that we have caused. So I get it. That's kind of how I think of the whole situation. But today, I want to take a look at some of these comments and see what Norwegians currently think about us. So let's take a look at these, starting with, we think you're loud. Okay, it's not the worst thing you could say. That's our view on Americans. Okay, isn't that something that? Okay, that's not okay. I can live with that. Because for one thing, I know it's true. I mean, here in the United States, we don't really notice because it's so common, and I guess honestly, our loud volume is what I think of as normal. But anyway, yeah, I've heard this one before. This like a stereotype of Americans that we are loud and annoying and unaware of how much we are disrupting things. I get that. I guess that's just not what I expected as like the first top comment here. Like, I thought maybe people would be more upset with like Americans electing Donald Trump and our politics and our ignorance and I don't know. Maybe this is only the first one. There's a lot more. I was in a museum that was filled with people, but no matter where I went, I could hear that one American family. Oh my God, I can't believe this must be true. And here in the U.S., we genuinely just don't even know. Because again, it's so normal and I don't even realize. Okay, fair enough. It says, I'd happily welcome Americans unless their political views align with the politicians who threaten our Danish neighbors. I know there are many Americans who disagree with that, though. If you are from Minnesota, I'd even buy you a drink. Minnesota, isn't that like where a lot of Norwegians immigrated to? Or I think I understand that. But anyway, this is more what I expect. Actually, this is exactly what I would expect. And I'm actually kind of glad to see that this Norwegian is like, I'm happy to welcome Americans. It's not like we're all banned. It's not like we're all unwelcome, which is nice. That'd be a very easy thing for anybody to do, to just like have a negative general opinion of all Americans. But I like this, a little more nuance because it's true. He says, I know there are many Americans who disagree with what's going on. The threats to Greenland, Denmark, and there are a lot of Americans who disagree. And I think it's actually gotten to the point where a lot of Americans who voted for Donald Trump are at this point pretty unhappy with how things are going. Some of it has to do with what we have done to other countries, and a lot of it has to do with the damage that has been done to the United States and some of the crazy insane things that are happening here in the United States, let alone on top of that, our outrageous foreign policy and threatening Greenland. And yeah, anyway, so yes, there are many Americans who disagree with all that. Absolutely, I do. Even, yeah, again, I think it's finally gotten to the point where a lot of Americans are like, even those who liked Trump are unhappy. I have a feeling that the MAGA people don't travel outside the United States. Right. You don't even have to worry in Norway. I doubt any hardcore MAGA people are journeying to Norway. That's true. Not the most worldly people, I guess. I have no hatred for Americans. Wow, this is really like a lot of respect for Norwegians for like having this attitude, because honestly, this is better than a lot of Americans who like have very aggressive, very locked in opinions, and very overgeneralized opinions like, oh, I hate all of those people. No. I have no hatred for Americans, but I think it's a shame that such a large percent of Americans chose to vote for Donald Trump. I can't understand how Trump and his way of thinking appeal to anyone. I can explain it a little bit as an American. Like, I think it's pretty clear. Like, I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump, but as an American in the United States, I understand why he was elected. For one thing, first and foremost, it has always been that Donald Trump is the anti-politician. He goes against everything that is a normal politician in the United States, that are bought and sold, and people used to say he wasn't corrupt, but obviously that is completely untrue at this point. People used to think he says it like it is, and people liked that he didn't talk, he didn't watch what he said. He was more normal, like you and me. That was something people liked, and he promised to not be like a normal corrupt politician. Obviously, that didn't really pan out. And in the last election, Donald Trump won mostly because the Democrat Party was such a complete and utter fail. Complete and utter fail in the US. I'm not saying like they're bad people or they have bad ideas, or I'm not even trying to be I'm not being political here. I'm just stating the fact. The Democratic Party with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris completely dropped the ball. Like utterly failed in their messaging, in honestly probably choosing Kamala Harris as a replacement for Joe Biden, and some of the things she said on TV. And then Trump did a great job of going on podcasts and Twitch streams and YouTube videos, and he was golfing with, he did, just from a marketing point of view. Anyway, and fundamentally, a lot of Americans just thought Democrats were very fake, and Donald Trump was like authentic. Anyway, there's a lot more things than that, but I don't want to go on too much about this. But there are reasons, and I'm not saying that they are good reasons. I'm not saying they're good reasons. For a lot of people, I think they just the United States also had an illegal immigration issue, which Donald Trump said he would fix, and Kamala Harris didn't. She made absolutely no promise to fix the illegal immigration issue in the southern border of the United States. That was a big voting. For a lot of people, that was like their top issue, the illegal immigration thing. And yeah, I think the Democrats could have won easily if they didn't make a million stupid mistakes. But anyway, that's history at this point. I've honestly never seen such a narcissistic person as Trump, and the fact that he's the most powerful man in the world is scary. I agree. And it has just gotten scarier and scarier because he is showing in this second term less restraint. Donald Trump, this is his second term. he can't run for president again. He can't get elected again. So he has nothing to lose. He doesn't need to worry about being popular. He can't be elected again. He doesn't have to worry about elections. So he doesn't have to worry about being popular. He can do whatever the hell he wants. And that's pretty much what he's been doing. Um, Narcissistic. A lot of Americans actually kind of like that quality. In American culture, he's seen as confident, egotistical, thinks he's the best, and a lot of Americans actually like that. Like in America, those qualities are actually kind of celebrated a bit. Being rich and powerful and uh, even a bit egotistical and confident. In America, those, like a lot of, especially a lot of young men like those traits. So yeah, there you go. As an American, I'll never understand. Again, it's like, I don't like him, but I understand just objectively, like, I think I understand what happened. Most people don't mind American tourists, but please don't wear any MAGA gear or call yourself Norwegian just because your great 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 grandparents emigrated to the US in the 1800s. So, this is two things. Don't wear any MAGA gear. So, that makes sense to me. That would also be, yeah, that's like people will make fun of you here in the US for wearing MAGA gear. Thankfully, I think that's a good thing. Times are really changing. Because Donald Trump went through like a big. He had a good image going into the elections, and now it's like completely. He's kind of been revealed for what he is. More so, even like people knew he was kind of crazy and said outrageous things. We all knew that, but this is a new level of insanity that I guess is frustrating for a lot of people because they kind of saw this happen. They could kind of tell this could happen, and now it's happening. Um, it's really nice to see that a lot of Norwegians still are totally open to American tourists. Just don't like come and like act stupid. Don't talk about Donald Trump. Don't say you're a supporter. Don't wear your MAGA clothing. I totally get that. That'd be pretty stupid. Don't call yourself Norwegian because your great 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 grandparents are. A lot of Americans like to do that. I don't know if other people in other countries do that. In the United States, we like to take like ancestry tests, like DNA tests, and be like, "Oh, I'm 4% Irish. Oh, I gotta go wear some green." Or so Americans really love to like figure out where our ancestors are from and take pride in that, even though it really has nothing to do with us at this point. But whatever. I can see where that's annoying, but I think it's mostly harmless. Well, those who actually come to visit Norway are probably not the same cheering on the toddler in chief. Probably true. We have several Americans living in Norway. Some are my close friends or colleagues, young people studying here. We even have an American school. None of them have faced negative treatment because of their nationality. That's amazing. Like, I have such a great respect for Norway and Norwegians after hearing this. Because I thought a lot of people would just be sick and tired of Americans and hate us after all the things Donald Trump has been doing. But you're actually very open minded and very logical. Just like, yeah, we're fine with Americans, but, don't act like, don't come here and like celebrate Donald Trump or the stupid things America is doing. Just be respectful and you'll be respectful to us. And I think that's awesome. I don't know if Americans would have the discipline to have that point of view if another country was doing the stuff we are doing. People here understand that ordinary Americans are not the problem. But the image of the United States has changed completely. It used to be this cool place people dreamed of going. Now people fear it. I know people who have canceled vacation and study plans. That is so sad to hear as an American, you know. And I love the United States. I want it to prosper, but it's not. It's doing the opposite right now. And the damage that has been done to our reputation, I don't think a lot of Americans realize how much our reputation has been ruined. And this kind of confirms that. People are scared of coming here. Given some of the stuff that happened recently with ICE and shootings, and I don't blame you, actually. I used to say that's kind of blowing it out of proportion, that America is a very safe place still and a good place. I don't know. Like, I still think we're the best at a lot of things, and we do a lot of things good, but we do a lot of things bad. We do a lot of things awful, and we have a lot of problems. So it's both. Because right now, the only country openly threatening Western Europe is the United States. Not China, not Russia, absolutely. The United States. No kidding. No, I mean, that's a good way to say it. It's sad. It's unbelievable, to be honest. Thankfully, Trump did walk back some of the threats on Greenland. Like, he's walked it back a bit, but who knows? To be honest, it's painful to watch what's happening to Americans. The ordinary people who I'm sure just want to get on with your day. At the same time, the U.S. is extremely dangerous for the rest of the world. You know, I'm really grateful for this comments. Like, I think it's correct, and I think it's very gracious. Like, giving normal Americans a lot of credit, and also acknowledging that the United States is like, and Donald Trump is pretty much out of control at this point, and scary and unpredictable, and but there's a lot of Americans here that don't like it either. I think that's spot on. I think everything that Norwegians said here in this discussion was pretty much spot on. So that's really cool. This was really eye-opening. Sad for me as an American to acknowledge a lot of these things, but you got to acknowledge the truth. So I did enjoy this, and I did get a lot out of this. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on how you feel about Americans right now. That'd be really valuable to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norwegian things that I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.